The gong adjacent to the temple serves many purposes, depending on the time of day, month, or season. Among the most common are communicating with the spirits of ancestors, generating good luck, and assembling villagers for ceremonies. Once we settled in, it was dinner time. The event proved to be a night neither guest nor host would ever forget. We had our own meal plan, but everybody jumped at the chance to share in an authentic Lao feast. Spicy duck salad made with blood of the duck, chili sauce, fish heads, and various other dishes made from duck, fish, and chicken innards. Pom and I loved it all. Bill said while the food was definitely a new variety, the experience was nothing new to him. The rest of the group was quite content to dab at the local delicacies and fill their bellies with our westernized Thai food. Throughout it all, everybody from the headman to the children enjoyed meeting their Western guests. And of course, the explorers all had a wonderful time before passing out from overeating. Dawn was accompanied by Lao music and a classic Lao moment. Daybreak is the time to cook the day's sticky rice. Sticky rice is a staple of the Lao diet. A special variety of rice is soaked overnight in cold water, then steamed in the morning for about half an hour in a bamboo basket. Sticky rice is rolled into balls with the fingers of the right hand and used to scoop food from the bowls. The honor of preparation fell upon the family matriarch. Daybreak is also the time for the monks to collect their offerings of rice and food from the villagers. The honor of cooking the SeaCanoe group's pancakes fell upon me and Dave. The pancakes didn't last as long as the sticky rice. I quickly found our village on the maps.
It's not where we thought it was.
A brief conference established our position and developed the day's strategy. After packing the kayaks and saying our goodbyes, we continued down the Nam Ou under cloudy skies. Today, the expedition would be traveling through the gorge. On the way, we drifted by more villages, but none as prosperous as Ban Hat Sa. All the villagers were surprised to see us. It didn't look like we'd get any white water on this deep, lazy river, but we continued to hope. We stopped to chat with some net fishermen and see how their catch was. We gave up on any rapids, but further downriver we heard a noise. Could it be? Not a chance, but there were ripples on the water. The situation gave Dave another chance to explain some river techniques. We decided to raft up, or tie our kayaks up side by side and ride out the waves. We turned a corner and limestone peaks jutted up into the grey skies, announcing our arrival at the gorge. Even the introductory scenery was exciting. We all knew this would be a good day. The float is majestic, even if you do get a kink in your neck. Between the river gorge walls, we found these fishermen. These folks use this cave as a base to shelter from the sun and the rain and to repair their equipment. We also found thick and rich rainforest and even some rock gardens. We watched wisps of cloud roll across the high limestone and mused on the best trip, blue sunny skies, or this magical mystery tour. A speedboat, caveman calls them rocket taxis, came through, breaking nature's tranquility. But these vehicles are so few and far between we didn't mind. They're the fastest form of inland Lao transportation, and they come and go in a flash. As the gorge opened, we knew it was time to start looking for this night's village. We knew it could never match our opening night performance, but we still wanted the real thing. Around the next bend in the river, we found a village that we all instantaneously and unanimously fell in love with. Ban Sop Chem. Unlike Ban Hat Sa, Ban Sopchem had no store. This was the real stuff. Lacking any Western goods, the village was clean, simple, and organic. No tin cans or bottles to cut your feet, and no plastic bags to clutter up the streets. We ate a warm, polite, and personal dinner, the Thai and Lao speakers among us conversing with 1 or 2 locals at a time. These people were farmers, not traders, and their style was low-key, one-to-one. No all-night parties here. The next morning we explored the village, and Caveman discovered this weaver and her loom. Laotians are noted for their artistic weaving, and a rural development project is now trying to develop weaving as a quiet and clean commercial activity. It seems to be working. As you can see from her blazing fingertips, the weavers are skillful, their work is art, and shops in Vientiane and Luang Prabang display their wares. They've also developed business minds. The prices seemed high by village standards, yet low considering the talent, effort, and the time taken to weave these colourful fabrics, which can take several months. We bargained a bit, but gladly paid the price. Back in the village, Susan was entertaining the village children with drawings in the dirt, attracting a larger crowd the more involved she got. Put-in time arrived all too soon, and we dropped into the river in early morning. We still had the mist in the mountains and a bit of current as we dropped on down to Mueang Ngoi, terminus of the North Centre, and our kayaking takeout. Pulling into Mueang Ngoi is nice. Right in the heart of limestone country, the place is beautiful, even in the rain, and the bridge has nice lines as bridges go. Our immediate urge was to take off across that bridge and explore the next tributary, but other arrangements had been made. We enjoyed a meal and enjoyed the kids playing on the bank. Then it was into our escort boat for the motorboat downstream transfer. As we entered the lowlands, the limestone drama disappeared and the entire team went into a dreamy sleep. The Bac Oo Caves sit right across the channel from the confluence of the Nam Oo and the Mekong rivers. The caves are neither huge nor naturally dramatic. However, thanks to the Lao culture, they are magic. Anthropologists believe that the first Lao people migrated into this valley from southern China around the 8th century, well before Buddhism arrived in Lao. These early settlers were using the caves for religious purposes since they arrived in the area. At first, they worshipped the spirits of nature and other river spirits. Then, Buddhism came to Lao. By the 14th century, it was well established, and the locals started taking replicas of the Buddha into already holy catacombs, also known as Tam Ting. Sometimes a daughter is getting married. Another time, a house or business is being built. Whatever the case, the bearer of the Buddha image often traveled a long and dangerous journey in those lawless days, frequently down the Nam Oo and secondary tributaries, to place their blessing in these caves. Bac Oo is actually 2 caves. The lower cave, the most accessible, holds 2,500 sculptures. The upper cave, 60 meters above the river, holds another 1,500. We don't know who did the counting, but we'll take their word for it. Most of the sculptures are carved from wood or molded from tree resin, and occasionally from animal horn, bronze, or ceramic. They are then painted with red or black lacquer and gilded with gold leaf. The upper cave is much deeper than the lower cave and not as well lit. The figurines are similar to those in the lower cave, but the cave is much darker and damper than the lower cave, and the sculptures aren't in as good a condition. However, the upper cave has a spirit of its own, with an undeniable power. At the day's end, we departed the Bac Oo caves via speedboat for Luang Prabang. Now you can see why Caveman calls these boats rocket taxis. A total contrast to the serene kayaks, the speedboat is an experience that should not be missed. It doesn't take long to get to Luang Prabang. and the journey is excitement to the max. Even in monsoon season, Luang Prabang is a city of light. All the colourful temples guarantee glint on even the darkest days. Officially declared a World Heritage Site in 1995, Luang Prabang has several temples on the riverside, a couple across the street, and one atop Pusi Mountain. We wanted to see Wat Mai for its spectacular veranda with carved columns and gold relief panels that describe not only the scenes of village life, but also the incarnation of the Buddha. The details in the gilded panels, carved over 2 centuries ago, give us insights into pre-Western village life, as well as the ultimate journey of the Lord Buddha. In true Lao tradition, we found a young boy taking a break from the weather in the midst of this splendor. In Lao, all things seem as they should be. Close by, we found another temple with the Tree of Life guarded over by a young monk in a house of its own distinction. Across the courtyard, Dave found the mother of all gongs. Luang Prabang is not for rainy days, so the next morning we decided to head on to the Hinbun River. The international airport was surprisingly busy and well organized to handle the load. Since we weren't landing in a rice paddy, the entire luggage fitted onto a normal